Hi everybody. So I wanted to make a quick video today kind of outlining what's going on in Japan right now weather-wise. So normally this is around this rainy season in Japan, so naturally there's going to be lots of rain. And last year we had quite a bit of rain too, and same with the year before. But this year it's been much rainier in at least the central and western parts of Japan. And here in where I'm living, there has been nearly constant rain for the last week. And so this is a lot more than I'm ever used to coming from the Utah, Idaho area where it's very deserty and there's not much rain. If we get rain, it's for like 10 minutes, and we have more of a problem with droughts over there. But yeah, it's been going on for a solid week, and it's fairly heavy rain. Sometimes it lessens up a little bit, so it's a little bit of rain and then it just dumps and then it goes back to a little rain, but almost constant rain for a solid week. And I think it might be letting up, if the internet is correct, it might be letting up in the next couple days or so. Maybe tomorrow it'll rain for like half the day or something, but we'll see how accurate that is. But there have been a lot of issues across Japan with flooding and everything like that. So, for example, I wanted to kind of share what it's like here in my city, and it'll kind of give you an idea of what kind of things have been like here in Japan. So, I'm going to show you this first photo, which you may have seen before in other videos or on my YouTube channel or something. And so this picture is my favorite bridge in my city, and pay attention to the water level. So this is pretty much a normal day where it hasn't been raining recently, and this is the water level where it's normally at. Now this next picture is the water level as of, I believe, yesterday on Friday. I forget what day it is. I haven't had school because I took a break off of work for the last week. But this was the level last Friday after almost a week's worth of rain. So as you can see, it's gotten a lot higher. In the previous picture, there was a large rock formation on the left side, and now you can still see the top part of the rock formation kind of sticking up, but the rest is just covered in this muddy water. So that kind of gives you an idea of how much rain there has been and how high the rivers have gotten recently. So, personally, I'm pretty safe. I have a river almost right next to me, but between my apartment and the river, there are quite a few rice fields. And so if the water level gets any higher, maybe it'll overflow into those. And I have a little bit more of a buffer than some of the other places do. But if what I've read on the weather reporting site is correct, across Japan, there has been about 15 deaths now from the flooding, and around 570,000 people have been evacuated from their homes due to flooding. And that number is surprising, but judging by how many alerts I've been getting over the past week or so, it doesn't really surprise me too much that it's been that big. Like, for instance, yesterday and the day before, just on my phone will randomly start making noises. It's on silent and everything, but these are notifications, kind of like Amber Alerts, where no matter what you do, it'll make a lot of noise, and then it'll have some instructions for different areas of the city. So the ones I've been getting have been specifically from the Gujo city, and it says something like, this area there are mudslides, this area there is flooding, people in this area should probably start evacuating, or specifically the older people should probably start moving to evacuation points. So that was going on almost constantly about 2 days ago and yesterday as well. So I'm keeping an eye on that, so if it ever says my district and zone and everything, then I need to get up and move on down to I believe it's the middle school is the evacuation point for us. But yeah, overall there's just a lot of flooding, and the other day I went out for a bike ride, and after about 30 seconds of being out in the rain, it really doesn't matter if you're out there anymore, because after about 30 seconds, you're soaked to the core. At least that's without an umbrella, and I'm not allowed to carry an umbrella while biking, but the places I need to go were pretty far away, so I was just like, whatever, I can get wet, and then I'll just shower and dry up when I get home or something. So I took a bike ride pretty far out there, and it was just dumping the whole time, so it's a little bit inconvenient. I was planning on getting ready for moving, because I'm leaving Japan at the end of the month, but due to the rain and other complications, I have been unable to do that, which is kind of a good thing because I've been able to relax and stuff, but it's also not a good thing in that I have to push off all my preparations for maybe next week or the week after that, which naturally lessens the amount of time I have to prepare to leave, which that'll make the last couple weeks here kind of miserable, but right now it's okay. Right now in my area, the rain is just a really big inconvenience, it seems, but it hasn't been particularly dangerous. Unless, of course, you go swimming, because the rapids are insane right now. So I think the last thing I want to do is just show you a couple video clips of different parts of the river. I think I filmed 2 different parts of the river, one of which I filmed both sides of a bridge, so you can kind of get an idea of how fast the river is going and everything. I think in the last video I'm going to be showing you today, you can even see a tree being pushed down the river. So without further ado, let's take a look at those video clips, and then maybe I'll say a couple words after that. That is fast. There are trees. I should get home. So on normal days when the weather's really nice and there hasn't been rain recently, the rivers that you saw in the video are completely clear. They're so clear that you can see the bottom of the river. It's just very gorgeous water. But as you can see in the videos, they now look more like the chocolate river from Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. So, except you wouldn't want to be drinking this chocolate. It's more just the runoff mud coming from the mountains and stuff as the rainwater comes into the river. So, as you can see, the rapids are very, very fast. You don't want to go swimming in these rivers right now. You don't want to go fishing. I think 2 years ago when I first got here, somebody had been fishing in the rivers after a rainy day, and they got swept up in the current and were dragged under, and that was kind of sad. So yeah, right now fishing is kind of at a halt. No swimming, none of that stuff. Here in Gujo, we've kind of haven't been hit quite as hard as some other places that I've seen. If you go down to, I believe, Hiroshima and I think Okayama and stuff, I saw some pictures there, and the roads are just covered in water and the rivers are just kind of overflowing into the water, and it looks like Gifu City is pretty close to that point as well, at least from some pictures I've seen. Maybe we're close here in Gujo, but not quite there yet. But yeah, in a lot of places in Japan right now, there has been an unprecedented amount of rain, and so lots of people are evacuated. Luckily, with how many people have been evacuated, the 570,000 people, only 15 have died, which is still naturally sad, but 15 out of 570,000, not too shabby. Japan is used to a lot of these natural disasters. When typhoons come, they have earthquakes, they have tsunamis, basically everything. They even have volcanoes, at least anciently. They still have some today, maybe, but it's not very common, I wouldn't say. But yeah, Japan has lots of natural disasters, so their disaster preparedness and disaster response is like top notch. I don't know if I've seen anything quite as good as that as Japan's in my travels around the world. Not that I would know much of them, because I don't know really what any other countries do for it, but Japan is very good. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that today. We'll see if it gets worse. If it gets dangerously bad, maybe I'll make another update. But right now, just remember that people in Japan are kind of in trouble in some places, and so just keep them in your thoughts and whatnot. So today wasn't really a happy uplifting video per se, but informational at least, I hope. And I will see you in another video.